So I've taken a piece of styrene here and I've drawn out the outline of the arches onto the styrene, and I'm going to cut some strips 1/4 inch wide. Okay, I'm about halfway through gluing on all the styrene here, so just to show you what I'm doing, I just put the styrene strips in place, take a little 10x7R. So I finished the framing of the pieces that I want to mold. I've got 2 sections of retaining wall in here, 2 of the large wall sections. I'm doing a second one just as backup in case one breaks or doesn't come out right. Then I have a second piece, and but I only did one of the side piece, and that's going to be in. So I just mixed up a batch of Hydrocal here, to just a little over 2 parts Hydrocal to 1 part water, and I placed it in the mold. Now I'm just kind of smoothing it out a little bit, and then I'm going to shake it to try and make sure there's no bubbles in there, bring them to the surface. You can see a couple bubbles popping up here. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Start breaking away. It's been about maybe an hour and a half since I first put this in, and basically to get it out I have to break away all of the mold, but I'm ready to pull this one off and see how it's come out. So this is the big reveal here. Okay, it's popped loose. And pretty good. Okay, so I've finished doing the molding, and I've cleaned up the pieces a little bit. The 2 straight pieces down here at the bottom, those are going to be the retaining wall, and then there's the support sections, and I've already sanded them down a little bit and filled in some of the holes just with some spackle, and I tried using some putty at first, but the putty didn't stick very well. Okay, I'm going to create a loading dock for this structure, which is going to go on the side of the building. I don't know if you can see it, but it's going to be situated over here on the side of the building. So I've already created a mold. I just used some styrene. I took some styrene strips, cut them about 1/4 inch. That's about how high I want the dock to be. And then I like to reinforce my moldings. I just took some simple wire that I had on hand, and I just bent it up and placed it in the mold, and kind of bent the ends a little bit so it sits up a little bit from the base. Okay, now I'm going to, and then you see this dock is going to fit right under the building as such. Okay, so it's 24 hours later, and I've taken out the casting from the mold. Basically, you have to, pull apart the mold when they're made with plastic like this. They're not really flexible enough to kind of pop it out. So these are kind of one-time use molds, and the casting came out pretty good. It's nice and smooth on the bottom. You can see some flow lines in there, but it's very smooth, and the top is a little bit of roughness, but not too bad. And as I mentioned, I'm going to have to use the top as the finished side, just because the way the structure is shaped. This has to go on here, but most of this is going to be covered with these, so you won't see these little spots on there that are caused from the pigment that I put in there. I guess some of the pigment wasn't completely dissolved. A little better on this side, but yeah, that'll look good once it's weathered up. And actually, you can see the pigment is disintegrating, so it actually looks kind of like an oil stain or aged already. So won't take too much weathering to make that look like some concrete.